Graduation. Which will be led by our Morongo Bird Singers, also our Board of Trustees, our administrative faculty, and our honored guests, our graduates from 2020 and 2021. So without further ado, we would like to welcome our Morongo Bird Singers to begin the processional.
On behalf of California Indian Nations College, I would like to welcome everyone, both those here present with us today and those joining online, for the college's first commencement ceremony. My name is Robert President and I'm the Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer. And as we begin, there are a few points that I would like to address. First, we would like to thank the Agua Caliente band of Cahuilla Indians for providing this venue for our graduation. We appreciate their support and ask everyone to follow social distancing and mask guidelines that are in place. Please remain in your seats during the ceremony. If you do get up to move for some reason, please wear your mask. The ceremony will be contact-free, so please refrain from hugging and shaking hands during the commencement. Because of the COVID-19 restrictions, we have made some other minor changes as well, so that we can provide our graduates with the in-person celebration that they earned and wish to have. So to start our program, I would like to ask Ms. Christina Moreo to lead us in prayer.
Yan, supo kiman mea pan, is paham benefit. Like to say hello to each and every one of you for attending this celebration of the graduates. They have closed the door, but they're going to move forward where another door will be opened up to them. Jamamna. Connect and it coming. But the Hiko see, not finds the mean I am Kimar from family superior. Young support for a hakusna is from family. One in a Napan, maybe drugs, nature. Heaven or a hitchina, Shamana, Hamama. Then we got the towels. And Hogan. Then we were in my community. And what chair a hitchina. It's more depot. Article Spahan Hitchebe. Among I walk a better woman, a walker. Then that become picture one of them. The picture of article. It's a non-one. It's a non-one. Down there. Archer. They said there was, I would just like go that they have completed the door. It's been shut, but another will be open to you. Ask the Lord to walk beside you so that you may not get lost on the way, but to travel, the right road, to walk behind you so you don't get left behind, to keep you covered with his wings, protection until you reach your destination. Amen.
This time, I would like to introduce our college president, Celeste Townsend.
Thank you, Dr. Rod. Mine, Ina Celeste Townsend. Gidukat, Hayat, Wayne Kimadu. Hello, my name is Celeste Townsend. I'm a registered member of the Fort Bidwell Paiute Band of Utica Indians. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone here with us today and those joining us virtually and spiritually. Wow, take a look around at all these guests and graduates. 5 years ago, we started as meetings around the table. 3 years ago, we began course offering, scheduling classes. We were recruiting our first cohort. Some of you up on the stage with us today, and working to make this vision that Teresa might have a reality, having the first tribal college in the state of California. Today, that vision has reached fruition as we celebrate our first graduates at our first commencement. Today is a historic day. As we begin this celebration of these amazing graduates and their journey here, it is important that we recognize efforts of those who have made this day possible. First and foremost, we want to thank Chairman Darrell Mike of the 29th Palms Band of Mission Indians and the tribal members of 29. Without their initial and ongoing support to the college, none of us would be here today. Our deepest thank you to the tribe for seeing the vision and investing in our graduates here. To thank, some of whom are here today. When I call your name, would you please stand so that you can be recognized? We want to thank all of our tribal partners. Our goal for California Indian Nations College is to truly be an intertribal college, serving all who wish to attend and gain an education from a Native perspective. To date, we have matriculated students from over 50 tribes. And we continue to reach out to find ways that we can serve our tribal communities and to support their students, our students. To reach their goals and aspirations and to give back to their communities, we couldn't do it without the support of the local tribes. And we hope you all continue to invest in this vision to educate, strengthen, and empower our tribal and local communities. A special thank you to Agua, Caliente, Band of Cahuilla Indians for providing this venue. We have a number of community partners, but we have to mention two in particular. The University of California, Riverside and the College of the Desert, who have both invested expertise, office space, classroom space, and instructional support in CINC. Our partnership with College of the Desert ensures that our students are able to take fully accredited courses and transferable to universities throughout the United States. Amanda Phillips is here today on behalf of College of the Desert. Would you please stand? Our college is governed by a board of trustees who volunteer their time to invest in our students and the future of Indian education. We have 5 trustees joining us today. Please stand as I call your name. Trustee and visionary, Teresa Mike. Trustee Green Mike. Trustee Robert Paul. Trustee Sandra Agua Dixon. Trustee Patricia Dixon. Thank you all for your service. We are privileged to have such amazing faculty. I hear from our students how our professors take extra time to help them, and they are deeply committed to the success of each student. Representing the faculty, again, please stand, Dr. Joshua Frank Garlinas. He is also academic coordinator and responsible for scheduling courses, working with the faculty, and tutoring our students. Carol Park, English professor. CINC operates with an incredibly lean staff. Most of us wear many hats and do many jobs. An enormous thank you to each one of you. Dr. Bob Preziglasa, our Executive Vice President. Mr. Sean Reagan, Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. Azelva Salgado, Executive Director of Student Affairs and Training Services. We have Ms. Courtney Hampton, who handles our GED and tutoring. However, she's not here today. She's here with us this year. Ms. Faith Moreo, Recruitment and Outreach Specialist. And Mr. Ryan Mariano, Administrative Operations Manager, who you see out there managing our cameras and okay, to the graduates, last but certainly not the least, we have to recognize and thank our graduates. You are the reason why we are here. To you, I offer you the following thoughts. Resiliency is the first word that comes to mind when I think of the importance of California Indian Nations College and its mission to educate, strengthen, and empower the Native communities. Our keynote speaker, Chairman Tortes, is going to talk about resiliency and what that means in much more detail. But here I wish to commend you for staying on course. Through some incredible challenges and earning these degrees, we are truly inspired by all of you here today. So let me begin by extending my heartfelt job well done. Each one of you has put an extra effort that we can only be proud of and hope to replicate someday. And all of you are celebrating this historic time with us. Our graduates put in the time and work to go to classes, finish their readings, do the assigned work, and take the exams. But in order for them to accomplish that, they need the support and encouragement of their families and their friends and their tribal and local communities. Be sure to give back in the future. Native nations need educated citizens, and you have all done your part to take steps to make sure that you are informed and well-rounded scholars who will be able to take and serve their communities. Graduates, that call to service is likely to come sooner than you think. So it's important that you take what you have learned during your time at CINC and build on it. Don't let your learning stop. And use it to serve those around you. To the community at large, we thank you for your continued support and devotion to the college and to these students. We cannot do this without all of you. If you haven't already, please consider investing your time or your financial support, because that is what the students, how they gain in return to give back to the communities. It is something no one can ever take away from them. It can only be given back to the communities that they live and serve for generations to come. To our graduates, we are so proud of you. It means so much to each one of us to be a part of this California Indian Nation story. But your journey does not end here. As CINC alumni, we look to you as leaders. You are a representation of us, and we are a representation of you. Support your college. Come back and mentor. Give your time and resources. Continue to learn, grow, and thrive. You are valuable, and the community, our incoming and current students, all need you and your support. So continue to make us, your family, and most of all yourselves proud. Again, job well done, and congratulations to the California Indian Nations College graduating class of 2021.
I now welcome, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, Trustee Sandra Kiwanaktua-Dixon to say a few words. Trustee Kiwanaktua-Dixon.
On behalf of the members of the California Indian Nations College Board of Trustees, I am honored to be here today to celebrate with all of you on such a momentous occasion and to congratulate you graduates for all of your hard work. Your degree is valuable, vital, and will serve you, your families, and your community. Congratulations.
I now welcome to the stage, on behalf of the College of the Desert, Amanda Phillips to say a few words.
Right, thank you for inviting me and allowing me to be part of this wonderful celebration. On behalf of the Desert Community College District, our Board of Trustees, Interim Superintendent President Jeff Baker, and Vice President of Instruction Dr. Annabelle Neary, I first want to thank California Indian Nations College for choosing to partner with us. This relationship is helping us to become a more understanding and culturally competent college, especially in serving Native students. To the graduates, congratulations on achieving this milestone on your journey to academic and career success. You have persevered through not just difficult academics, but also an unprecedented disruption in the form of COVID-19 pandemic. This speaks to your innate abilities and resilience. Your time with California Indian Nations College has prepared you well for the journey ahead, and I'm honored to wish you continued success. Once again, congratulations.
And now welcome to the stage, on behalf of the student body, our student trustee and member of our first cohort, Mr. Randy Agua, to say a few words.
Good afternoon, President Townsend, trustees, partners, all parents and relatives. Today is very memorable to me, and I am very happy to have my dream come true. My name is Randy Howling from the Klamath Modoc tribe. I am graduating with a major in liberal arts, business, and technology. I was part of the first cohort, the first commencement, and I am the first in my family to get my college degree. My journey to CINC started with a simple flyer that caught my eye. It said, California Indian Nations College emphasis. Light snacks will be provided. When I attended my first ever session about CINC, I was excited and curious with what possibilities could be. When arriving on campus, I was greeted with friendly staff eager to introduce new pathways for Native people in higher education. It was awesome, walking into a room filled with people like me, Native people, Indians. The information that was provided was simple yet impactful. Going back to my first class on campus, I remember us students walking in nervous and excited on the outcome of what was to come. Since most of us did not know what to expect, for some it was our first college experience. California Indian Nations created a welcoming atmosphere of individuals and cultures. And it just felt good to be at an institution that provided a positive environment for Native people. This was a good welcoming feeling that made me want to pursue my higher education. Looking back on my fondest memories when we all came together, students, staff, and faculty, volunteering for our time to make our first annual 2019 Gathering Under the Stars a success. Let me tell you, it was a great night because everyone was able to laugh, make memories with one another's family. That's what makes CINC so unique. The personal touches of being able to meet the people who are making this college go forward and that are here supporting and wanting all of us to succeed. Whew. All right.
Got it.
I would like to quote Crow Chief Plentycoops. Education is the most powerful weapon. With education, you are the white man's equal. Without the education, you are his victim, and shall remain his victim all your lives. Chief Plentycoop's words are as important today as they were back then. Grandparents, parents, remind your children on how important their education is. They are going to be our future leaders of tomorrow. We meet professors who are instrumental to our success. We love them, admire them, and respect them. Our memories will forever remain evergreen when reminiscing about the relationships that were forged with our professors and each other. They taught us to decode the information, support ourselves, and take excellence into our future. With the limitations experienced during the COVID pandemic, they were there to encourage us and give us the motivations to stay on top. The impact on us was a huge privilege. I want to say thank you to the people who are the bedrock of my success. First, to my family. Their support has always been there, been my motivation and inspiration. To my father, grandmother, and grandpa, I do hope I make you proud. I believe that you are smiling from the heavens. All right, here we go, almost. I want to thank the partners that are valuable for. I want to thank God. I also want to thank the partners for their valuable contributions, especially the 29 Grand Palms initiatives. My dreams would not come to the limelight without you. Thank you. President Townsend.
Love you.
Thank you for caring and your support. And your inspirational words that propelled me to achieve my goals. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for being there with your honesty and knowledge. You meant so much. You are my role model. Thank you. Griselda, Faith, and the rest of the staff, you were there from enrollment to graduation. I really appreciate everything that you have done for me. Helping me stay sane during my finals, applying for scholarships, and so much more. Thank you. Finally, to my classmates, for being the funniest, brilliant, creative, and good people. I am humbled by every single one of you. My world would have been born without all of you. I love you all. So, we did it. We did it. We did not know what we were making history because we were living history. We are the first, but not the last graduating class of California Indian Nation College. So go forth, class of 2021, and make your contributions to this world. Thank you.
You made me good. All right. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker. Thomas Tortes Jr. is the chairman of the Torres Martinez Desert Cahuilla tribe. A man of honor and service, he is a veteran of the United States Navy and served as a firefighter for the Bureau of Indian Affairs. He prides himself in delivering that same level of commitment and service towards providing quality educational experiences and improved retention rates of Native youth in high school, college, and vocational programs. A community advocate for our living healthy lifestyles, and an ally in investing in government-to-government consultation to secure tribal sovereignty and comprehensive culture-based education for Native nations, I present our keynote speaker, Chairman Thomas Torres.
Thank you, Milwin. And Dato Chairman Thomas Torres, Milwin Dish, Amehave. How are we doing? Sunchi Dami. I want to start by talking about, as our elder was talking earlier, about resilience and what that means to Native Americans. As we all know, 1 year ago today, when the world was in turmoil, many schools, businesses, and events were canceled. Many people thought on that Friday the 13th, when the world was shutting down, that maybe Monday, we'll be coming back to our normal, same old routine, school, going back to work, going back to whatever it is we were doing. That did not happen. As you know, day after day, the news reported, stay at home, stay safe. And countries started to seal borders. Sports events started canceling season events. Businesses started shutting down. Everyone knows at that time, the panic started. There wasn't any more toilet paper. There wasn't any more water, right? And if you look back now, but at the time, it was a time of challenge. A time of challenge for the tribe, and the tribes as we know it. As resilience kicked in, the tribes bonded together. We were calling each other and talking to each other of how we can help each other. Can we get you this? Can we get you that? And the resources that each other had, we helped each other at the time. So we know that this mysterious illness was taking over the world. And after the initial shock that this was going to continue, everyone was asking each other, right? What are we going to do? What's going to happen now? People, and mostly students that were in the colleges and schools, were direly affected they were no longer able to learn in the ways that they were used to. The normal routine for students throughout the world, and especially our tribal community, had been turned upside down. And educators tried everything they could to adopt and create new normals for these students to try to keep them, their grades above the water. Social, emotional learning needs of students were greater than ever. Now that we know at that time the basic needs of home were not there, and it was so exposed then. So the students here today had to adopt to the crazy life of the COVID-19, because now gone from them and taken from them was the laughter, the smiles, their hugs, and mostly their connection that they had with their classmates. And no amount of emails or Zoom meetings will ever take place of that. Because we are social people, our tradition carries on that we socialize, and that was what hurt them the most. We never know what we have until it's gone. So I'd like to give great admiration at this point to the educators and the board of California Indian Nations College for continuing the support and the planning in ways that they never had to deal with before. Developing online training with little or no planning time, and at the scale as large as unimaginable. So I would like to take this time to let them know, the staff of the board, that they are special, and even though appreciation might not have been shown, they take most of their time helping our graduates get to their goals today, even when it was tiring and frustrating. And they didn't give up on our graduates here today, and they never will. Their job is the hardest but most rewarding, in my belief. In addition to the special thanks, I want to thank the parents, the guardians, and all those supportive people who have helped our graduates here today with whatever choices they have made to get to this point. They did everything in their power to keep the graduates on track, even if it meant a lot of us had to give things up, we had to sacrifice. So these supportive people that I mentioned are heroes and role models. So this support that I'm talking about was actually a lifeline to ensure that our students, our graduates here, were successful in this time of fear and uncertainty. The coronavirus had disrupted more class time in more colleges for more students since World War II. The coronavirus and the economic shock waves that had at least hit Americans of all ages, mostly Native Americans. So this continues to create an unprecedented time and an uncertain time in the world we live in today. But with this uncertainty brings challenge, and with challenge comes resilience. And I am proud of the resilience of our graduates here today. With the anxiety and the stress, they still got up every day, they still got ready for school, they still completed the assignments that were handed to them, and they met the requirements and excelled through all the hardships to be here today. Tell you about my grandparents. I remember when I was young and I would hear them talk and sometimes argue, and one of the times that when we're talking about communication, my grandfather and my grandmother, my grandmother would call my grandfather man. Sometimes in Cahuilla, my grandfather would call my grandmother woman. And one time he came home from, sometimes he would follow work and not come home for months. He would come home with his money, and my grandmother made him fresh dinner. They sat down, and my grandfather, I heard him say, "Woman, He said, I've been with you so many years that I've come to find you tried and true. And she said, huh? And he said, woman, I've found you to be, to me, tried and true. And she said, huh? And he said, woman, you're tried and true. And then my grandmother said, I'm sick and tired of you too. So, let me know if you get sick and tired of my talking too much as I get home. So, I know it has taken an enormous amount of time and effort for these graduates to get here at this time. And now their goal is to look at what their next step in life is. Is it college and more college, the U.S. military, getting right to work or going back to work to sharpen their skills? But now that you're on the next step, when we're talking about resilience, we need to talk about when things don't go your way. There are moments and times when things don't happen just the way you've planned. And I'm not talking about when you lose your keys, you can't find your phone, right? You forgot to bring things. Those aren't the type of things that affect your final goal. So like I said, in this last year, we've experienced a world in turmoil. And we've learned that we don't know what the world has in store, especially for the new graduates. But through the experience of living through this time, through this last year, we know that the graduates are better prepared. We know that you have to stock up on toilet paper, right? We know you have to be ready when the panic might start, the first thing you get. So another point is, when we have a fixed idea of how our life should be, and it doesn't appear to happen that way, many of you may not be graduating in a major that you first thought you were. Setbacks. Setbacks may have happened because of the pandemic. But you have to remember, you're in the driver's seat, and whatever comes your way, as our tribal elder has spoke, when a door is closed, another one opens. So, to break up the monotony again, I want to quote a famous writer. And you may know this writer, his name is Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss once said, you have brains in your head and you have feet in your shoes. You steer yourself in any way you choose. You are on your own, and you know what you know. You're the person who decides where you'll go. Those are the quotes that I hope we remember, right? Everyone decides and everyone's in the driver's seat. We can't let outside circumstances affect where we're going to go. And again, I am proud to say that these graduates did not let the outside circumstances of all the barriers the pandemic brought to us and got to this point where they are today. And I attribute that to their native resilience, which is born in them, and it's inherent from thousands of years of battles and resilience and systemic racism that we've come across for the last 500 years of the European contact. They are a product of that. So from my personal experience, I can say that many good things are born out of good and also the bad experiences. So whatever bad experiences we've had these last years, I know we've lost family, we've lost friends along our journey, and in happy times, we have to remember to welcome the sun, because once we recognize that the clouds will clear, and the sooner we look for the sun, it'll appear. In my difficult times, I know that I've gotten through by the support of family and friends. And it helped me to understand that we are all Mecum, we're all family, we're all connected. So whatever struggles the graduates have in your experiences from this point on, your next steps, just remember that other people are going through or have gone through the same thing, and you can't dwell on what is not going your way. You can only focus on what you can control. So when resilience kicks in, and it will, doors will open, as our tribal elder has said. The next step in your resilience is to continually ask yourself every day, what can I do today, right now? Which is in the line of vision that I have for my life. Because what you do today matters. Remember that your journey is not meant to be a series of dreams coming true, but now it's a series of lessons that you have learned. And at some point, you will let go of what you thought should happen and accept to live in this moment, graduates of 2021. Our graduates here now know how to move from wanting something to actually following through and making it happen. Being here is proof of that. Their dedication to time, their commitment to hard work, and their patience. We know life will never be 100% in our control, but it is said that we actually control 20% of our life. So our graduates here are proven they can control 100% of that 20%. So now we can choose to focus on the accomplishments of our graduates today, and the graduates will be able to tell a different story, not the story that was supposed to happen without a pandemic, but now a story of living through this pandemic. So when we talk about resilience of our graduates, the resilience is being strong on the inside and having a courageous spirit. That's how we natives know it today. Being resilient and strong on the inside doesn't mean that there won't be difficulties in life, as I've explained. It just means that our behaviors and thoughts, skills, and actions we take to bounce back from these setbacks, how we respond to those. In the history of the Native American and resilience, we know through World War I and World War II, many Native Americans weren't even allowed to vote, but yet we went to fight in the war across the sea. I have many relatives that went to fight. We all have aunts and uncles that have went into the military voluntarily. And as we know, Native American women are the backbone of society. As our men went to these two wars, they had to take over the duties of the family and carry on with cultural protection and the traditions that we dearly hold to ourselves. It is known that thousands of American Indians served in the World War I and World War II. Many of them went because they were warriors, and in their eyes, it was their duty because it was their land that they wanted to protect. This is a resilience on our part. No matter what the cost was, they were sent knowingly on suicide missions, scouting, and on missions they knew they would not return from. So, with that being said, I know for the graduates, the next step from this point, as the soldiers and the warriors of the past, and as the grandmothers and aunts of the past have stepped up to take on all of the duties when others weren't there to do them. The next step for the graduates at this point, we know will change the world. Even though it is not easy to see now, every accomplishment that the graduates achieve here today is their native legacy. Each of our individual graduate successes will benefit each tribe as a whole. Because when they succeed, they bring a light to the generations of the Native community to follow. They are now in a position to revitalize and motivate our tribal communities and our tribal youth. So when the graduates, when you pass down your history to the next generation, you strengthen a sense of cultural awareness. Our Native American families may differ on how they retell the stories, but that's your story. Be the graduate that tells a story that focuses on the strengths of your resilience of this time, despite all the adversaries that were endured. Your testimony will help the next generations to make sense of what happened in this time in your journey, and will provide knowledge and strength for them to overcome similar obstacles and help to educate others. Again, I would like to honor the graduates who have been committed to take action and overcome these barriers and prove that they are unstoppable. My call to action for the graduates here today is for them to continue and to meet every challenge with the inherent resilience embedded in their genes. I challenge them to stand here today because they are on the brink of the future, and it's not a dream anymore. Your dream begins here. And I believe you will not be satisfied by just getting by in life, because that will not move our people forward. I believe you will excel in every task, large and small. So, I am positive, very positive, that the graduates here today will come out on the other side of this as better leaders. Now they have a unity with other classmates of 2021. And in the future, people will say, when you say I'm the class of 2021, everyone will know what that means. Everyone will know in history and will tell the story of how our graduates here today survived the COVID-19. And in their story, each of them will be a hero in that story. So I want to close by quoting Black Elk, a Lakota, who once said a simple saying. And he says, looking behind, I am filled with gratitude. Looking forward, I am filled with vision. Looking upwards, I am filled with strength. And looking within, I discover peace. To all the graduates here today who have endured my long-winded speech, I know this is one of many amazing milestones for you in life and your journey. And I wish you all the best. Good luck. And most of all, congratulations to the California Indian Nations College class of Wis Nemechumi Petasuple 21.
Thank you, Chairman Tortes. I welcome, once again, Trustee Kiwanaptua Dixon and President Townsend to confer the degrees.
I feel like I should turn around. On behalf of the California Indian Nations College Board of Trustees, and with the authority granted by our charter from the 29 Palms Band of Mission Indians, I authorize you, President Townsend, to confer the appropriate degrees upon the candidates as approved by the faculty.
I have the honor to present and to recommend the graduates of California Indian Nations College Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts. Graduates, will you please stand? President Townsend, I present these candidates for the Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts degree.
Acting on the recommendation of the faculty and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree earned with all its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Gotta have some fun. Honorary degrees recognize those who have made profound and enduring contributions to scholarship, culture, or improved quality of life in society at large. Our recipient, Teresa Mike, has embodied those values with her philanthropy, commitment to expanding access to higher education for Native Americans. CINC is part of her vision, and she has supported the education of many more students through the Teresa A. Mike Scholarship. It is our honor to present an honorary Associates of Arts degree to the college's founder and visionary and two-time Woman of the Year for the 56th Assembly District in 2020 and 2021, Ms. Teresa Mike.
Sego. Don't cast Joshua Frank Gardens. The graduates will enter the stage one at a time to receive their diplomas and also a porcelain rose. The porcelain rose is presented to you in memory of Pam Clute, the late wife of Steve Clute, former California Assemblyman. Steve is a CINC volunteer and has attended lectures with many of our students. His wife Pam, a math professor at UCR, loved to present porcelain roses to her students. She would point out that the porcelain rose will never fade or wither. When you're feeling a bit down, the rose is there to remind you to have comfort, peace, and joy. While the red rose is often known for love and romance, it is also symbolic of passion and serves to remind you of your passion and desire that led you to accomplish your goals and be here today. First, Randolph Avila Jr. Rachel Dominique Montañez. Renan G. Salgado. Savannah R. Sabo. Eleanor Jean Thomas. Now we are going to recognize graduates who shared part of their journey with us here at CINC while completing all of the degree requirements at College of the Desert. We honor them today for their accomplishments. They are Betty Evans Bonner, Felicita Renee Payton. Valenzuela.
Because of you. This is for you. Because of you, we're all here. Love you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there today. As part of this procession, it is my honor to preside over the blanketing of our graduating class today. Blankets are not eternal, but they are symbolic. One of the reasons we blanket one another in ceremony is because in the past, and perhaps still to this day, this is all we had. In the past, we were called blanket Indians, and others said without education, we would return to the blanket and remain uncivilized. They said we needed to kill the Indian in him in order to save the man. But this is false. Our blanket was a symbol of our resistance to that effort. We chose to remain the original Americans. We survived contact, invasion, occupation, terrorism, removal, forced education, and genocide. However, our goal at CINC is to give you something different, a complete education. One where your identity, experience, knowledge, and traditions are embraced and built upon. Education with the blanket. CINC is a place where we can think, feel, pray, study, and act Indian 24/7, 365. So today we honor you with these blankets. Let your blanket provide you comfort and protection. Let it remind you of your journey and the journey of your people. So today we honor your sacrifice, and in this way we blanket you. Today we honor your giftedness, and in this way we blanket you. Today we honor your achievements, and in this way we so blanket you. And today we honor you and all of your relatives, and in this way we so blanket you. So may this blanket remind you of where you come from and where you are going, knowing that you are not leaving a family behind, but you have a family always to return to. Young love. And our graduates. First, Christine Rose Jimenez Valenzuela. Felicita Renee Payton. Betty Evans Bonner. Eleanor Jean Thomas. Savannah R. Salo. Rina Salvalo. Rachel Dumoni Montañez. Randolph Avila Jr.
For our final remarks, we now turn to our visionary and founder, Mrs. Teresa Mike.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad to see everybody here. Before I start, I just want to say that there is no Teresa Mike without Dean Mike. I'm so proud to stand with all of our California Indian Nations graduates today. It is my vision that the college is a place where Native nations can educate our own from our voices, our perspective, and our cultural framework. From this year forward, it is my hope you graduates are as proud as I am. You are now a part of the CINC alumni community, and we look forward to your continued investment in the college as leaders. I encourage you to pay it forward. As a graduate, you now have the responsibility to change another person's life, a friend, a relative, colleagues of yours should all be inspired to follow in your footsteps and continue educating our Native nations, which in turn strengthens and empowers our tribes. Congratulations to the first official graduating class of CINC. We can band together and continue this legacy to ensure there are many more graduates to come. We ask everyone to remain seated until the conclusion of the graduates' recessional. Thanks again, everybody. It's so good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, everyone. Again, we ask you to remain seated while the recessional receives. Thank you.
over there. So if we can do one graduate at a time, one table